Obviously, my favorite shot was when Sammie was playing and we're just like panning through different musicians. That's why I was thinking about Reincarnated by Kendrick Lamar. That music that began on plantations and within these churches in the South has just blossomed into being the blueprint for so many things, and it's still being built on, and it still have vampires like Elvis extracting from it. Ooh, that Western part especially. Oh, it just did something to me, girl. It just did something to me. Hello, I'm Sade, and I just got back from watching the movie Sinners, and I have so much to say about it because this is my favorite movie, favorite musical, favorite Western, favorite fantasy, favorite everything that I've seen probably in years. And this is someone who just watched Nosferatu in theaters, like 3-4 times. I love this movie so much, so I already know I'm going to go back over and over again, especially since Ryan is getting money off of this. Okay, I am so happy I went to watch the movie Sinners. Like, thank God. Oh, I cannot wait to go back. I know I'm going Monday, but I am going back multiple times. So I will be talking about this as of first impressions. I'm not trying to do a review per se. I want to talk about this from the perspective of a music lover, as a musical lover, as a history lover, as a Black American who grew up Southern Baptist with a grandmother who's a pastor. I was in church 3-4 times out of the week, if not more. I grew up in church, so I relate so deeply to Sam. When I think about being Geechee, when I think about our like lineage of hoodoo voodoo, when I think about how connected especially Black women are, like spiritually, God, like Annie just meant so much to me. I felt quite seen in some ways by her because of her spirituality and because of her being very tapped into her intuition and into the world around her. It's so funny how jazz and blues were always looked at as like the devil's music. It was so interesting to me that jazz and secular music was like looked at as the devil, and how they played on that and used it as the basis for like this horror. As someone who grew up so Christian and so closed off from worldly things to protect me, how people would like look at everything Black artists do as super demonic. Like I would always see that, like specifically amongst Black people, like said artist is wearing black or like wearing something creative. Or, oh my God, they are part of Illuminati. Oh my God, it's the devil coming from. Oh my God. Like especially when I got into K-pop, I'm not into K-pop anymore, but I would see concepts like this and I would be like, if a Black person would do this, they would be like, this is Illuminati. This is the devil. The devil's trying to get. I was like, oh my God. Christian people just live like so deeply in fear, scared of everything. And obviously I understand that as someone who grew up like that, but also I look at things quite differently now. Vampires are real. Okay, I'm going to be all over the place, and I do want to talk a lot about music, but I just want to say, like, literally vampires are real. I tell y'all that in other videos. I was like, yo, there really are energy vampires. There really are people sucking you dry and stressing you out. Y'all really do need to stop inviting people to the cookout. As a dummy who used to be inviting people to those white people, those vampires, those palm-colored vampires were there to extract your resources, to take from you, to drain you. Yes, it's a metaphor. Yes, it's a movie, so it's like an over-exaggeration. But like, no, seriously, they see you making art. They see you being creative. They see your style. There's a reason why they're constantly like cultural appropriating. There's a reason why they're constantly like labeling the things that we do. There's a reason why like they just see us having fun and it's triggering. Like they are there literally for real to suck your energy. I think it's like so funny because I really do like love the Bible as an instrument of like storytelling, metaphors, and life lessons. I think my divide or my loss of my love of my Christianity is the way that it's weaponized, right? Like in YT spaces, it's to take laws and rights away from you, to strip books away from kids, to control the behaviors of people. And then in the Black sector, and there's some overlap here in this Venn diagram, it's about give me your money and then eventually you'll go to heaven, or give me your money so that you can eventually give me your money so that I can be in the Rolex.
Ushers,
and
close the doors. Close the
give
doors.
me your money so I can be in the Benz, and then you're just like, be over there broke, but you'll be happy and you'll be loved by God. And it's like, oh my God, bro. But that kind of put this distance between me and Christianity, and it's fun watching something like this. There are so many interesting elements to this Southern Gothic Western spiritual journey that this story took me through. I absolutely love any type of vampire movie, any type of vampire series. I've probably seen it or I want to see it, right? So I loved it in that regard as well. Two songs come to mind while I was watching this movie. I'm going to tell you about the first, which is Kendrick Lamar's Reincarnated, as we're kind of like seeing Sammie take this journey and, get this guitar that he believes is from Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson met at the crossroads with the devil to make a deal to become a musician, right? Thinking about how the devil was a musician, was so charming, was so interesting, was rejected from heaven. This was heavily playing with concepts of temptation. And it's funny because the first time that we see the devil, and when we should have known that this was just about like good and evil, it's not even about vampires. Like we were talking to and being presented and constantly being tempted by the devil. We were first tempted by the devil whenever we were preparing to open up the juke joint, right? And they were trying to decide, oh no, maybe we shouldn't do it today. No, we should do it today. It's a beautiful day. Look up top. It's gorgeous, which, oh my God, it's so important for you to take time to just be in that moment. That was so beautiful. Their hug was so beautiful. Their relationship as brothers was so like intimate. They're twins. Like the spiritual connection that comes with having a twin. Y'all were listening to the same symphony, same heartbeat since the moment you were conceived. Like their connection was so interesting and moving and spiritual. But they were standing there. They look in the back of their truck and there's a snake. That was the first time I believe that we even saw the devil. We had this omen already being presented to us, to maybe be cautious, to see that there was some temptation, to see that along that road that we were going to come across negativity. I really do love that this story was about temptation and desire, but also more importantly, it was about the power of music. Obviously, my favorite shot was when Sammie was playing and we're just like panning through different musicians. That's why I was thinking about Reincarnated by Kendrick Lamar, and just thinking about how, this lineage that's passed through us as Black people and the different types of music that we make and how innovative we are. Like when the electric guitar came in, when we see like these African dancers, when we see this Black woman that is a ballerina, whenever we see all these different ways that we are the blueprint for culture, pop culture, music, how we're never stifled, we're constantly evolving, and how much music has gotten us through the different journeys that we've been on. And just like the rich text, the rich layers behind our rhythm and blues, how that type of music that began on plantations and within churches have just like blossomed into so much amazing art. How people have and will always be obsessed with our art. And it was just so eerie to me. Oh my God, bro, this was some good horror. Scariest or like craziest, weirdest things that were happening was whenever the vampires came trying to come inside and get them. He used the racism of those people to be able to get into their homes, right? Because he was running from the natives. And then he bit them. And then they all came singing to the juke joint. I think the vampires' song was like pick, pull, rob, clean. You know, they were singing something. I was just like, and they were saying it over and over again. And it was so eerie and so spooky and so weird. And I was thinking about how, you know, a little bit later on, but I was like, are they saying like picking the meat off your bones, like eating you like a vulture? Like what are they saying? It's so so creepy. It's so freaking creepy. This was a good or like triggering horror for me because normally I'm not really scared of anything, but as a person from the deep south who obviously that was spooky yuki, especially right now in this climate with the I don't even want to say resurgence because it's always been there, but the reinvigoration of this type of hate. Oh, this is a lot. Panning through while Sammie's singing, it was so eerie as well, like beautiful, but whenever the building started to burn down around them and they were surrounded by flames and rubbish and they were still singing, they were just so overjoyed and they were so in sync, and that was so beautiful. But then getting to see them from the vampire's point of view and them just looking at them as carcasses to devour, longing for them in this really disturbing way. Girl, I was gagged. I'm sorry. I was gagged. Like I have such push and pull with this because I kind of hate how people, especially hyper Christians, like super over the top Christians, feel like everything music related or art related is like inherently demonic. I think that those are tools. That may be a tool that a devil can use, and that can also be a tool for good. Like these instruments are literally that, they're instruments, and how you choose to use them, the type of energy that you're invoking, the type of like spirit that you're carrying will influence it. But also it's so interesting how Sammie was so interconnected to his different ancestors and all of these different people. Oh my God, this was one of the best musicals that I've seen in years. I'm just, oh, get me that vinyl. Get me that Sinners vinyl. I need it. Actually, I'm working on decorating my room. Give me that Sinners poster. Watching the vampires get everyone one by one just had me so mad. I just, girl, cornbread, are you serious? Watching the vampires get them one by one, watching Sammie go into that room and almost have the opportunity to save one of the twins. I can't remember which one it was, but watching it, oh, I was so livid. I was livid. Interesting, them calling a vampire the devil, because literally, yes, I knew for sure that he was just the devil. Not only because, like, obviously, there were so many indicators, but whenever Sammie started praying and he started saying the words right along, please don't try it. The devil knows that Bible too. Like, are you? Please. He knows his father's word. He was up in heaven. He was cast away. He tried to make his own heaven on earth. Like, come on now. He knows. You ain't hurting his feelings. It was just so interesting him reciting the Bible along with him. Even from the beginning, whenever Sammie was talking to his father and his father was trying to talk him out of this lifestyle and get him to preach along with him and read the word, and he knew all the words. Sammie did know that Bible, and he did care about impressing his father and being a good person, but he was drawn to something so passionate to him. He wanted a bigger life. He wanted to leave this sharecropper lifestyle, and that's so relatable to me as a person from an extremely small town. wanting to find your passion. And after you find a passion like music, I just don't see you wanting to go back from it, even after the pain that it's caused you. Same guitar that he loved so much, that meant so much to him, he made such beautiful music with, was the same thing that actually ended up saving him. It was the temptation that led him into the world, but was also his savior in that moment, because he was able to use his guitar in order to attack the devil. And it was just like, it was so interesting. It just goes to what I'm saying, that music, that instrument, that whatever can be used for good or evil. Something so meaningful to me while watching, as a person who constantly thinks about me as a little girl, putting on a white dress and going down to the lake with my church family and having my head dunked into water. Spiritual and eerie and beautiful that is, right? My own baptism as a child, and watching the devil, especially with those long, gnarly nails. I miss my nails. He's making me miss my nails. Long, gnarly nails continue to like baptize him. I mean, he was submerging him to like, it was giving baptism to me. When that twin came and got him with the wooden stake, I'm trying to be careful with my language, him dying in that same water that he baptized him in was very interesting to me, and stood out to me for religious reasons, and just the purification that water does hold, especially natural bodies of water, and also the purification that the sun brings, right? Grand opening and grand closing. That was a crazy day. That movie took place in one day. That was a day. While I was thinking about making this video, a song that came to mind and I had to turn it on because of this movie. Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. I could not stop thinking about it, especially at the end with Sammie being like, well, before the vampires and all the shenanigans, that was the best day of my life. Yo, I felt that, bro. Especially since Black joy is so stigmatized and we don't have like a lot of safe spaces. You have so much to fear, right? But he was like surrounded by love and having adventures and playing music and finally getting to do the things that he loved and finally getting to explore himself. That night was beautiful before the devil crept in. It really was. Reminding me how like eerie that song was, because it's like when you're having a good day, especially whenever you don't feel like you deserve it, or whenever all the odds are stacked against you and you're like in these oppressive systems, in this oppressive world, but like you catch yourself having a good day, you're like, ooh, like I'm getting away with something. Like even that song was very eerie because it was like Ice Cube telling himself like everything's working out, and I got some ass, I got all the green lights, like I got good food, I got everything is going so good. And then he starts to realize how like fantastical and ridiculous how everything is. He's like, my name is up on the Goodyear blimp. Like, hold on, this is too good. And then realizes that he's surrounded by SWAT. Like, exactly, it's too good. Everything's going so well. It was just coming together so smoothly. And it's like sometimes elements completely out of your control that are trying to fuck with your day. Those people are just minding their business. And here comes these soul sucking ass YTs. That's such a good movie. God, this was such a good movie. This was such a good movie. And I know this is going to be a comfort movie for me. You're going to be like, how can a horror movie be a comfort movie for you? Do you want to know my last two comfort movies? Obviously, Nosferatu, which is so crazy. And that's only because I just realized like there are vampires all around us. There are constantly men trying to exploit you and they don't even have supernatural powers. I had to tell a family member, girl, that man is ugly, broke, evil, mean, and nasty. And he's sucking you dry. Like, she is actively laid up with Nosferatu. I said it specifically. I called him Nosferatu. And you know what I'm talking about because you've seen a woman in a toxic relationship and she looks fucking dried up. How is that not the same? Vampires are real. Vampires are real and music is powerful if you take nothing else away from this. My other comfort movie for a while now is Hereditary. At least on my Instagram, you may have seen my Hereditary cosplay. Okay, I love that movie so much, especially I'm not going to get into my trauma. I'm still stuck thinking about how spiritual it is having a twin. Like, I don't have a twin, but twins weren't in my family. Like, my brother, he had a twin, but she passed away. And I wonder how that's like affecting him because that spiritual bond definitely hits different between twins versus just like a regular sibling. Like, y'all were in the coochie together. As an alternative Black person, this is so fascinating to me. And I really think it makes so much sense that this crosses over so many genres because, like, Black people cannot be contained to a specific genre. It's literally impossible, okay? Don't try to do it because it just shouldn't happen. Like, the comedy was so organic to me. The horror and the horrors of the Deep South, it just makes so much sense to me. Playing on these historical references, leaning into the very unique relationship that Black Southern people have to spirituality. It's this Bible that was pushed and forced onto us, but we still managed to keep intact a lot of our personal spiritualities. Like, there's a reason for the hoodoos, the voodoos, the Florida waters, the indigo fingertips, the basket weaving. Like, there's so many things that we did to heal ourselves. Like, watching Annie like throw bones. I don't know what it would be called in like the context of this movie, but her predicting her own fate and already knowing, and it being even more painful because she knew it was coming. And to look up and it's like, it wasn't him, but the face of your lover. And her being so adamant about, take me out. I want my soul to rest in peace. I do not want to be a monster walking among earth doing the bidding of the devil. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let me rest in peace. Let me rest in peace. He was so good for so many reasons. Like, I mean, he laid out some races that, that Western part especially, it just did something to me, girl. It just did something to me. Lord. Michael B., I wasn't really paying too much attention to him. I can go on a rant about that later. But, Lord. But it was so, but it was so healing to see Annie holding that baby at the end and being able to rest in peace. She knew that there was someone on the other side that she wanted to be with. So watching her breastfeed her child and talk to him for one last time, reflect on the love that they had and what they wanted the relationship and their future to be. It was so like peaceful and it was so healing. It was so devastating. It was so tragic. It was love. It's so healing. Director, a Black director that does not fucking hate Black women. Like, girl, you don't know how needed this. The TLC, the love, the attention, like, oh, that attention to detail. Like, even her there with the, what is it, babies with Willow, I can't think of the name of it right now. The flower crown and the white dress looking like she's on the way to a baptism. It was just so like nurturing and healing. And as he's fading away and he's passing away, him thinking about his love for her, need that. And then that racist white man started yapping. Oh my God, he lit him up. I'm having a moment with my love. Shut the fuck up. Felt that. I'm not really religious anymore. Like, it's always going to be there because it's literally a part of my childhood. It's a part of my lineage, but also I have so much pushback for Christians, the Christian faith, and the current state of Christian shenanigans. However, comma, this movie did make me want to go get baptized in a in the waters of Mississippi. I'm just saying. I'm probably not gonna do it, but so frustrating because I want to be like, I hate the stigma around hoodoo, voodoo, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Spirituality, witchcraft, whatever, however you want to put it. This was one of the few times I was seeing it referenced and it wasn't irresponsible, which think about things like American Horror Story and how it adds to that like stigma, like the weirdness of these ethnic people and their strange behavior. It's like a conversation for another day. I'm deeply questioning my personal engagement with Christianity, with religion, and what the path forward for that looks like. Because I do think sometimes the way it's portrayed, and a perfect example of this, and not a Lil Nas X person, but everyone being like, oh, well, he got Bell's palsy because he deserved it because of his music video. And I'm like, there are actively people destroying us and snatching away our rights and mistreating kids and, attacking programs that help veterans like me, or attacking programs that help Black people like me, or attacking programs that help women like me. Please, I can continue. Why hasn't God struck those motherfuckers down? Lil Nas X over there twerking and being gay is just not doing anything to me. I got real ops. Why is your God not running down on them? But, whatever. A question for the people. If you're going to do a drive-by on bad people, let's expedite this. There's something that can feel delusional and condescending about how sometimes it's used to ignore reality, and then sometimes it's used to kind of just put band-aids on things. And it's like, that's why I do lean towards spirituality, and why I definitely understand the hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft, girlies, I feel like they're doing something that's more tangible. They're curating habits and routines that are comforting them. Like, bro, I felt him. I don't have a mojo bag, but I felt him as in the regard of like, oh, I don't believe in this, but I'm gonna keep this on anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place. I have so many things I want to get off my heart, get off my chest. So many things that stood out to me. So many intersections that meant so much to me. Another example being Michael B. Jordan's characters, the twins, being veterans. He had PTSD because he was so shooken up, as one would be, seeing his brother dead, and like trying to like process all that and all this fear and then all these people outside, and his hands were shaking, and I was like, real interesting watching him be reluctant to stab his twin, even though it literally would have been releasing. It's just, he's looking at a mirror of himself. He's looking at this person who he spent his entire life with. How do I do something like that to something that's literally a part of me? Oh my God. It's already hard enough facing your fears, but whenever it's something or someone or this devil that looks exactly like you, that looks like one of your loved ones, which is so interesting because the vampires in your life or the devils in your life, or like the obstacles that you're actually not able to overcome, they come in the faces of people who you know. I was like on the phone with a very close friend. The vampire in her life, the devil in her life is her very violent sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've felt that, and it's like you have this apprehension of trying to extinguish them, because it's like, I know you and I love you and I care about you and it can't be you, and no. And there's nothing worse than having to drive a stake in between the relationships that you have with friends or family members, but whenever they're the ones trying to drain you, when they're the ones trying to hurt you, they're trying to put you in danger. That's the most painful times. I love escapism and fantasy. It's hard because it's funny that Annie was played by the same lady that was in Lovecraft Country because I realized that I hated that show. And it's honestly because of things that happened to her character and the others. Like, absolutely terrible. We can talk another time about how much I hated Lovecraft Country. Like, it was just giving trauma for trauma's sake. Well, this had such a delicate touch to it. Oh my God, it almost felt like it just went by so fast. Like, that's why I'm clamoring to get back and watch it again. And it never felt like that where it was just slaughtering and torturing Black people for spectacle's sake. It didn't feel like that. Celebrate our strengths and our innovations and our beauty and our heritage, right? But also recognizing that even whenever we are trying to have escapism, we're trying to have fun, we're trying to enjoy ourselves, we're constantly surrounded by vampires, we're constantly surrounded by white sheets over heads and things that are just trying to stifle that excellence, stifle that growth. A group of vampires were all like clicked up, claned up out. This is not funny, but claned up outside of the juke joint. The actual clan came in that morning and they're trying to surround the building or whatever. And they're all clicked up in the same way that the vampires were. Even if they would have made it through that night, there was always a constant threat, a constant walking around on eggshells, a constant self-awareness, even within your escapism. I can't wait to rewatch it. I might be back talking about even more things because, as you can see, first viewing and it already means so much to me. So, yikes. Also, when they said, give me Sammie and it's fine, we'll just let all y'all go. Girl, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you would have capitulated, yeah, they would have got him, which was the ultimate goal, but y'all wasn't gonna make it either. And let's be for real, okay? I'm still so stuck on the power that Sammie had, the power in his music. Literally begged my friends to watch. Well, I pretty much told them I would cut them off if they didn't watch this movie. So I'm just gonna give you the same threat. Watch it. I'm sure you have. Hopefully you didn't watch this without watching the movie. Somebody did. Go ahead and comment if you're that one person who watched this even though you do not know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, bro. I gave you so many spoilers. Did I put a spoiler alert? I probably didn't even say it. Only wanted people who watch this to watch this. So we could talk about like the details. And then I want to watch this back after I come from watching the movie again and be like, girl, how did you forget to say this? How did you forget to say that? How did you forget to say this? Sade, I forgive you for the sins of the past on not catching every single detail of this movie because you were so smitten because all the actors are stunning. Please watch this movie and also put the soundtrack on a vinyl immediately. And listen to my song Rex, especially Kendrick Lamar Reincarnated. Come on, it's literally about music. It's literally about the devil. Come on. Get into it. Get into it. I just had to talk about this because I was suffering. There's so many times that I want to talk about religion and Christianity especially and how it relates to my childhood and God just growing up surrounded by little black angels in every single room and how it affects like my gothic style. And there's so many things that I do that I'm just like, I know the rest of my family outside of my mother is just like, okay, love y'all.
Listen, I don't have a chance in hell with Michael B. Jordan because you know how he loves no bunny child. He love a bunny. He love a bunny. But I mean, I knew that he was fine. Like, you know, like subconsciously never really paid him a lot of attention. Did love him as Killmonger, but like, whoa, he was acting his ass off. I'm talking ass flat. He was acting his fucking ass off. What the fuck? Lord, he's so fine. Like, he's getting better as he's aging, because I've been, watching him for years. But now, like, no, it's just that one, especially the fashion. Yeah, he looks good. Don't tell him I said that, but damn, Lord.